Hi and welcome to the Art of Tarot. My name is Stephanie and this is a reading for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars for September 2019. I already did this in German, that's why the cards are already out. And I want to say in the beginning, you find all the information you need in the description box below. You find all my social media channels, you find my Instagram, please follow me on Instagram. And you find a PayPal link if you want to donate to this channel. I know and I'm aware that the English readings weren't too regularly in the last couple of weeks and months. It is because I just want to clear things up a little bit. I am most of the time mainly I'm an artist and I'm a musician, and this is what I do on the side. And I also do German readings, so I'm trying to devote as much time as possible to the tarot, but I really have to, make things a priority, and I hope you understand that this is not as regularly as other channels sometimes, but therefore maybe it's a little bit of a different touch, and maybe there's people who appreciate the different angle to reading the tarot. Okay, so having said all that, let's dive into this reading. Your birthday season is coming up. Still, we are dealing with Virgo season here, and I think Virgo season is a great time, and also Libra is coming into the month with really this working energy, this focusing energy. We can really focus on what's important to do, maybe even get a clearer picture of ourselves, of who we want to be, especially with this Pisces full moon, where it's really a lot about letting go of things, and for all of us, not just for Libras, but for all of the signs. That's 12th house, so that's Pisces and rules the 12th house. It's really a lot about self-undoing, letting go of toxic ego, finding more authentic ego self that needs to be expressed, instead of toxic ego driven, I need to have it kind of forceful moving towards a goal. So at the same time, we get a lot of forceful energy here with Saturn going direct in Capricorn mid-month to really achieve our goals. It's not saying, well, I don't want to achieve my goals, or I have different goals. I don't think that's the point. It's more like how to go about it, and especially with the Virgo new moon, we can really figure out a new game plan. Maybe something didn't work the way it did in the past, and maybe now we need to change course a little bit. Also with the Death card, I think it's a really deep transformation. It's really about letting things go that don't serve you anymore, letting maybe people go, maybe environments, maybe beliefs, old beliefs. It's a lot about old beliefs and too structured beliefs, maybe too strict beliefs about something, and really too strict part of yourselves, maybe also to be parts that are too strict towards yourself. With the Death card, we have a really deep-rooted transformation that is long-lasting, but also takes time. And I think September is really the thing where we wrap things up. Very often before we move into our solar year, this is what's happening. We let go of the old, we tap into the new, and we begin a new cycle. It's wonderful. I like that this Death card is here. I don't think it's a bad thing. Especially it's also talking about Scorpio season coming up, which is really, and what Libra does is really interesting. They're coming out of they're really in between Virgo and Scorpio, coming out of a very practical space from the Virgo energy. They're moving into a very deep emotional space, and I think it's a good, what they're actually doing is evening those spaces out. So I think it's a really important time here to really think about the depth of what's to come and how you can go about it. That's, I think, what September is for. And end of September, then the sun is in your sign, and it's gonna be, you know, energy, fun, light. You're gonna feel attractive. Venus is in your sign, Mercury is in your sign. That's all coming end of September. But basically now it's really a good month to wrap things up, to get ready for the new year, to get ready for your new birth year, and to maybe make some changes of plans or changes of routines, incorporate some new routines. And then I think there's a lot of strength that you gathered by the end of the month, and a lot of fighting energy, warrior-like energy, where like, well, I know what I want and I'm not gonna let anybody take it from me. So this is beautiful. I always like the Seven of Wands for Libra, especially because a Libra sometimes can, you know, it's so much about compromising and diplomacy, but here it seems like Libra, you've learned how to, you know, not let people take what's yours anymore, because sometimes Libra tends to be like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever, you know, you can have it, I don't need it. But I think those days are over, to be honest here. And that's a wonderful thing. And even if there's coming people your way, you're equipped, you know, you're equipped to really go into that battle and to really go into that fighting mode if you have to. And that's wonderful. Relationship wise, we have a time-space card here. That's a Judgment card. And I think what it really says is I don't want to phrase it wrong, because the first thing that comes to mind, it's neither the right time nor space now that things just happen on their own. So, you know, that feeling when you're like, well, I'm at the right space at the right time. I don't think this is not the case, because I feel like we're always actually, you know, always at the right time, in the right time, at the right space. But sometimes things just unlock, you know, where you feel like, oh wow, now I have a magic combination of things, and now this is the gold, you know, this is the perfect combination. Or it's more like, well, I didn't even see it coming anymore, and there it goes, you know. Just know that this month is not about hoping for the great change or the big thing, you know. It's more about slow, not slow necessarily, but deep, long-lasting, profound transformation that in the long run strengthens you so much more, you know. That is also very self-motivated, because with the time-space card in reverse, I think it's a lot of self-motivated energy, and not so much oh, there is something external coming and all of a sudden everything is fine, you know, or all of a sudden I hear my calling. Because it's really not about hearing your calling. And I think also in relationships, it's really not about, oh, now I finally know what I want, you know. This is not what you're dealing with. It's more like it nearly seems like Libra, seriously, like you have other things to worry about right now, which is very interesting for Libra, you know, to not worry so much about relationships. But I think in September and until mid-September, you really do have other things to worry about. And then maybe with the new moon in Libra at the end of the month, maybe something happens there where like, well, okay, now I'm open to this again, or now I'm focusing on that a little more because I want to start a new cycle. And also when Venus moves into Libra, of course, and Mercury moves into Libra in the middle of the month, you will totally feel those energies, you know. There could be very lovey-dovey energies going on, to be quite honest here, especially astrologically speaking. But I think this is not it's not going to be a feeling of, oh wow, all of a sudden I wasn't even expecting it and all of a sudden it was just like bam, you know. I feel like, you know, for some reason it's like, I made this happen, thanks universe, I know, I don't need even, I'm like, you know, it doesn't seem like you're too hung up about it or too already given up or something, you know. It's like, okay, now I know I'm going through this really intense, deep transformational processes right now that I'm facing, so well, it is what it is. It seems very like not resignating, but very like accepting energy. I don't know, that's just what I feel. Also, and I'm a Libra, so maybe I'm projecting, but I mean, I'm definitely projecting some stuff on this reading for myself, but I try to be as objective as possible. So this time-space card in the reverse, I think it's a lot about, okay, you actually also have control of the situation. It's also on you. It's not just like from the outside something fixing the whole situation. It's also on you, and maybe also it's like a sense of don't try to see it as some sort of where is the finishing line sort of situation, you know. It's more like cyclic process, if you may. You know, I wanna pull another card here, because this is the German reading. It was a little different, the messages that came through. So yeah, and the Ace of Pentacles, how wonderful. See, I think you're totally aware. I think Libra, that's a weird thing, but I think it is what it is. I think you're totally aware of what is real and what is not. I think you're not in any sort of romantic illusion anymore about your love life or about what's going on in your love life. And I think also you're not interested anymore in people who don't see you, you know, who don't want to see you, who are not interested in putting the focus on you. That's also one thing. And you're not under any illusion anymore when it comes to meeting people. You're really looking for something stable, for something, and also with friends, also with friendships, I guess here, I see here, because I feel like you're really also, and I know that's going on for a while for a couple of people, but there's just certain people that your time is not worth anymore. It's a very arrogant thing to say it like that, but or it sounds arrogant, but it's just the way, you know, Libra is like, just the way it is. Sorry, just saying it. I call it how I see it. That's what Libra does here for themselves. You know, you don't have to call people out, but I feel like that's what you do, you know, internally. You're like, well, that's just how I see it. So just how it is, very realistically speaking. And that's also the stable chance here moving forward with this Ace of Pentacles. This is what you want, you know. You don't want that whole like, well, if we could, we should, would have, could have, should have. You're not interested in anybody making any promises anymore. You're not interested in anybody telling you what's gonna happen in the future if this and that happens. You're not interested in options. You're interested in realities, and I love that. And you're moving on to a higher level here with the Eight of Cups. Yes. The Ten of Wands here, well, it's also telling me as a tarot reader, so that's it, you know. We're done here. Also, I know it's a lot of work, what you're doing here right now, Libra, but don't overwork yourself. Don't overwork yourself with activity, especially, you know, you don't have to do everything at the same time. You just have to put the focus on the things that are really of importance, and that's much more efficient. And Libra is about efficiency, I think, and Virgo is very much about efficiency. So in September, you can really put the focus on the stuff that is really important. Yes, I like this. All right, so I'll talk to you next month, I hope. And if you're interested, as I said, in a private reading, you find all the information in the description box below. And if you wanna support this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment. And I hope I'll talk to you next time. Thank you for listening. Bye.